All right, guys, working on a boat build for a buddy. Looking at a 16-foot, 4-foot wide low. Gonna be putting in a casting deck up front, a mount for the trolling motor. He's got a live well, so we're gonna look at carpeting probably around it, build flooring on here, carpet. Gonna build a little hatch in the back for the batteries and get everything wired up. Put in a little rocker switch, possibly talk to him about adding some speakers. And then, yeah, we're going to be repainting everything and adding new decals. And yeah, so going to show you guys throughout the process of us getting it all cleaned out and everything done, how to flip an old low. All right, guys, got everything cleaned out of it pretty much the best we could. Gonna power wash it obviously next. Got some ideas of what we're gonna do now. Looks like we're gonna do a casting deck from here up, and then we're gonna do like a little platform, maybe some sort of like, because it'll probably come into about here. So I might build up straight and then even with this, and little cubby to store something in there. For somewhere to mount your trolling motor up above. We got to get nav lights added up front for them. We're gonna build up some raised flooring so that it's even with the bottom of these bench seating, so that water can still run underneath if for some reason you do take on water. So we're gonna do that across. We're gonna carpet everything. We're possibly looking at adding some EVA foam padding along the bench seating and possibly underneath the casting deck carpet. Got a live well. We got to figure out the wiring for that situation because right now it's not wired up and it's not functioning. And then we're going to be adding a rocker panel over there. We have 3 batteries that all run perfectly. We're going to be running those in parallel and adding like a little storage area in here that is closed off. You can't see unless you flip open, so then hopefully it keeps water out and things of that nature. Give you a little area to work on stuff with your fish if you know, cleaning fish while you're out on the water or whatever the case is. Yeah, he's got a nice 9.9 Johnson and a nice trolling motor. We're going to be repainting the entire boat black and changing the decals to a bright orange, and then changing, painting the inside as well. So I'm gonna check in with you guys once we get everything power washed and moving on to the next steps.
This is live.
That's thick shit.
You want to go that thick or do you want to go thinner? We can go thinner.
Yeah, probably this.
This is half inch.
Yeah, half inch. No, that's just, oh yeah, half inch.
What's this?
All right, guys, so we got a bunch of high performance enamel paint. That's jigsaw, self-etching primer. Gonna get some plywood for the deck now and get back to working on the boat. All right, guys, first step was to go ahead and coat the bottom. We got Goop Coat It, 2-part solution, rolling it on here to the bottom of the boat. We're gonna stay just below these lips and coat the entire bottom so that, any rocks or debris don't puncture the aluminum. Once that's done, we're gonna paint the exterior, let it dry, flip it, get the interior painted, start working on the deck. It's 1 gallon down. Gonna let her cure a little bit, and then we're gonna throw on another gallon. I think it went on really nice. Just staying down there below the water line. So hopefully anything debris-wise that gets touched will not puncture it.
Hell yeah.
Alright, we're gonna take some of this self-etching primer now that we just sanded the whole side of the boat, and we're gonna hit with the primer and then come back through with some matte black enamel paint. So set the phone up and get a little time lapse of us doing this. primer getting finished up now. One was half of it. We're gonna wait to get this other half till we flip it over, but.
You make the load.
All right, got a full coat of the primer on both sides. Gonna let it dry for a few. It's pretty nice and warm out. It's already dry to the touch. So should be just a few minutes here, and then we're gonna start hitting it with the black, the matte black. Gonna get the entire outside done. Probably drop the boat back down once that's dried and do one more layer of the coat it. Once that's cured up, we're gonna flip it over, paint the inside, and start working on all the interior. First coat going on. All right, guys, here's the progress. Got a few spots to touch up. It's kind of giving us a weird texture over here, so we're trying to figure that out, but it's coming along. I think we're down to 5 cans left. We still got a bit of interior to paint, and Menards is out, but got a second coat of Coat It ready to go, mixed up. Gonna get that thrown on, let that cure, and see what we can do. All right, guys, we got some rain coming in, so we got it brought in, set on some boards. We're working on trying to map out how we want to do this casting deck now. Yeah, I'll check in with you guys once we get it mapped out and show you what we're going to use as a template. Thunder in the background. All right, guys, we got it mapped out pretty well. Got a few blemishes, but we'll account for them when we cut. Got one side already measured. It's something's 4'7" and a quarter on the widest spot. The widest the board is 4 foot, so we need like literally a 7-inch adjustment. So we're gonna make do with what we make do, and yeah, we're gonna start making some cuts now. All right, here's how we're looking. We do got an extra piece there. We're gonna have to piece together. We'll make it do. And then we're gonna add a little hatch here. We're gonna fix this so it comes even with the end of that, all the way across. And then we're gonna, once we figure out where we're gonna do the hatch, we're gonna add a couple legs on each side for support. And then yeah, we should be good. We didn't want to have it too raised of a deck because it's a new boater that's getting this boat, and his girl's gonna be laying on the deck, so a little bit more privacy with it lowered like this. But we are gonna end up possibly building a thing that comes up and over for this, for the trolling motor to also mount to, because this is for nav lights. So check in with you guys once we get this piece trimmed out and we get the rest of the deck figured out. Aha, I told you you had it backwards. Oh.
You need to go down a little bit though.
Does it?
Yeah, because it's okay back here, actually. Like that. Right in through here. Needs a little trimmed off because you got a lip here.
Right, okay. And then we'll take the level and just level across here and then mark that out. So, all right, we're gonna make some trims, some adjustments, get it in there. All right, we got that supported. Everything's filled in good now. We used a piece of cardboard that's sitting over there, mapped out hatch, just big enough to be able to get some life jackets in, tackle, whatever. So now we're gonna get this probably cut out. We don't have the hinges today, so no big deal, but we're gonna put a little supports underneath so that the wood doesn't fall down. We'll end up putting a couple hinges. You can open it up. You'll be able to still get a seat mounted up here just fine. And then yeah, we're gonna, after we do that, we're gonna build a couple supports for legs underneath just so that you don't have it caving in on you when you walk on it. And then get to carpeting. So yeah, check in with you guys once we get to that process. All right, guys, now that we got the hatch cut out, we're gonna work on carpeting. We got a few chunks of this carpet from Menards. I will be putting prices on the screen of everything as far as what cost is for materials on building something along these lines. So yeah, we're gonna use some of this spray adhesive, spray it down on the wood, glue the carpet down, wrap it underneath and staple it. And then we'll cut out around the hatch spot, carpet the hatch, bada boom, bada bing. Checking with you guys once we get that done. All right, got that carpeted down. Got the hatch to cut out here. Gonna wrap it under and staple and cut off some excess. And should be good on the casting deck. It's coming along nice. Let's see. Oh, that's just the hatch. Got a bubble here. I'm just trying to see if there was any bubbles, but looking good. All right, guys, this is our solution for the flooring. We're gonna use these L brackets, flush at the bottom of that, slide our wood right on in on both sides, and bada bing, bada boom, we should be set. Then the flooring will go even across there. We'll paint everything else, carpet the flooring. Might just paint these, we'll see. And yeah, should be good. Should be good. Just got that finished carpeting up, and we're gonna cut out the hatch and recarpet the hatch. All right, we got those 4 brackets down. We're gonna be putting a piece of wood across here, cutting it to match that angle, and then we should probably be adding a piece of probably 2x4 or something across the middle just for support. So we still have a channel for anything to run underneath if needed. Having that live weld removable is pretty nice, so it gives us some access to the styrofoam underneath. But yeah, we got, like I said, we got the carpet all finished up here. Just flipping it over. Oops. So staple. It's looking nice. Couple small bubbles, but we can get them out. Alright guys, just test fitting it, got a board cut. We need to trim it just very slightly along here so that it sits flush, but we're just gonna...
See, it's still up on the board,
yeah,
above the boards there, it's not on the
yeah, because it's not flush, because it's not getting flush down there, but it doesn't feel terrible support-wise. Honestly, it doesn't feel very bad at all. But I do have some wiggle, so maybe just a little bit in the middle. Especially when multiple people get on it.
Well,
but yeah, I think that fits good. Get that carpeted. We have those gaps pretty good, honestly, so that we can carpet over and be straight. Yeah. All right, guys. Calling it for the night. We got casting deck all carpeted and finished up. We got to get hinges for that. Got some blemishes along the paint job that we need to sand down and redo. Got flooring mapped out for this. My dad's probably going to work on this in the morning, get some carpet done, get this mapped out and cut. And then when I come, we will finish carpeting along everything else. And then I'm going to be installing the pump for the aerator, navigation lights, flip switch, everything else. So check in with you guys tomorrow morning. All right, guys, it's the next day. My dad's got everything cleaned out. He's got brackets put in for flooring back here. We got one board cut out. We're gonna get ready to prime the interior of the boat and then paint it. My dad also built a new box back here, or a base for the batteries that are gonna go. And yeah, so we're gonna get the inside cleaned out and get to priming and painting while we're trying to watch after a little bit. All right, well, we got a thin layer of primer along the entire interior, everything that's going to be seen at least. We're going to start hitting it with our high performance enamel. We got a few cans left of that, and then we just got some normal matte black. So going to finish off the interior and then get it on the trailer and touch up a few exterior spots. All right, it's coming along. Still some touch up on the outside to do, but it is coming along. All right, getting there. Got a few more coats on the inside. Was looking into how to add this bilge pump, or the livewell pump. Getting prepped for tomorrow. Got one more full day on it. Along nice. Got a lot of touch up along the outside, so don't forget. All right, and then we're gonna get the hinges set for this and get this in place. We are still looking for a solution for how to open it. I'm gonna look at like Michael's and see if I can find some sort of ribbon or strap underneath of it, like underneath here, so then it wraps around and you can just pull it up. So come show you guys once we get the hinges in here and get it put back in the boat. All right, that's starting to look pretty good. Chasing the boy down. I don't have a way to open it quite yet, but fully functioning hatch. Get in there. I got wiring right now. I'm gonna get all cleaned up, but that wiring's gonna go up here to the nav lights. I'm gonna paint the wire and fasten it down, zip tie or something, so it stays back like that. And then yeah, we're gonna get another piece of flooring cut for the back, possibly double layer it. We're still seeing what we're doing with that, and then carpet down and around everything else.
No.
All right, well, we're gonna be adding in the pump now before we get the next set of flooring in, so I can get the hose ran through. We did just go to Menards and get a new kind of paint. We ended up getting, I'll show you here, still Rust-Oleum high performance enamel, this time a flat black. We're gonna try to, we got too many spots. There's just too many. I mean, that obviously just needs touched up, but there's just a lot of overspray. And so we're gonna roll on some of this throughout the week. I think my dad's just gonna do that as a little fun thing for him to finish up the project. But yeah, so I'm gonna get the hole drilled for the pump, get that siliconed in and mounted, run the hose through. We're gonna get the next piece of flooring in, which is already cut, laying in there somewhere. And then once that flooring's in, we can we got some weather stripping bead that we're gonna run down the sides and along here, so that we can then carpet over everything and be good. And yeah, so checking with you guys once we get to drilling this hole. Got my step bit. I'm gonna just keep slowly going through notch by notch till I can get the pump to fit out and go from there. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically drill here, because I just mapped out on our flooring for the battery box. Just got it recut, so it goes up and around there. So it should fit just around the pump. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just keep going about even with the drain plug and just notching
knockout by knockout until I can get this to fit in there. I'll check in with you guys when I can get it to fit.
All right. Oh, I got that fit pretty nicely. Got the O-ring behind it. I think I'm gonna end up probably cutting that off, just barely sticking out of there. Come in here, let's see. Nice fit and snug. Stuff in there. Be able to get everything wired up. And yeah, we'll now be getting the hose connected here with a clamp, run it underneath up into the live well, go from there. All right, now I got the hose connected, ran underneath, got enough to get me up and into here. I have a hole drilled there. What I'm gonna do now is take this connector and down, connect this underneath, and then put on this clamp. So, see how that goes. All right, got the flooring in back here, pumps in, everything's notched out nicely. The hose runs underneath, up into the live well. Everything is all fastened. Could probably use a little silicone around the beads of that, which is fine, we'll do that. I did get the wiring all done for the nav light and just threw some plastic tubing on it. You're gonna have to find a way to secure it down, but it's there, it's hidden for now. I don't have the right screws, so I got the holes pre-drilled. Gonna have to get some screws for that. That'll look good up there. All right. So now we're at a good spot where I can kind of say what we've done so far. We got the pump installed for the live well. We got the back stern light mount installed. We got hose ran for the live well. We got wire ran for the front navigation lights. We have flooring down here. We have some weather stripping that we're gonna caulk in over there along the side before we carpet it down. We are also trying to find a solution for this little gap, possibly. Bad cut, shit happens. Worst case scenario, I'll redo the deck, but whatever. Yeah, it's coming along nice. Nav light's gonna look good up there. I need to run to Walmart today and get a little ribbon so I can easily open up this hatch, because right now there's no way to open it. And yeah, once we get all the flooring in before we carpet, we're gonna retouch up paint, and then I'm going to get LED lights installed after we touch up final paint. So that'll be the last step there. And yeah, like, we have 2 speaker holes and a radio hole available for future. He didn't necessarily say to add it right now, kind of on a time crunch, but it's something we can do in the future. Luckily, I should be able to feed wire through here into from the radio down, and I should be able to get wire down. I should be able to get that all handled at a future use once flooring's installed. But yeah, we're gonna get this grinder here, and we are going to start cutting in a hole for this guy. Trying to decide exactly where I want it. We got the 2 speakers over there. The switch could be nice. I do have access to the styrofoam a little bit easier there, but then all the electrical has to go to there and then back and forth, and yeah. So I think I'd prefer it to be on this. Now, do I want it back here? I kind of think back here is not a bad idea. If we put it back here, it's gonna end up being underneath a hatch. You can flip it up whichever direction we decide to hinge it from, which might be this side. It's thick enough where I think we can't hinge from this side, and we can, boom, pop it up, get to everything. I think this is the spot we want it. Just because in my last boat, personal problem was every time I would be sitting there, I'd kick it with my feet. Turn off a radio, turn off a navigation light, turn off a fish finder, whatever. So Not gonna do that this time. We are going to throw it back here. I'm gonna try to keep it centered. I think if I keep it centered, that should be all right. And then I can get some styrofoam out pretty easily and get all my wiring in there. All right, that's what we're gonna do. All right, got that all cut in. Not the best looking job, but it'll cover it. Next is to get my hammer and start digging out as much of that styrofoam as I can, and then shove something down to give myself a nice thick channel through to the bottom side of the styrofoam there, so I can get all my wiring up and make all my connections in there. It should be nice and waterproof inside the styrofoam as well, so that just makes it a little bit better. But yeah, I'm gonna get all this dug out and deburr a lot of this bull crap, and then I'll check in with you guys once I get it in place. All right, got all the styrofoam dug out. Smashed my finger in the process. It does fit. I might need to pull some more styrofoam out, but either way, it fits. It's good. Just need to keep carving out a little bit more styrofoam, but yeah. Got that in place. Took this little crowbar and I made myself a path and down inside to the bottom, just through here. So yeah, you can see it goes all the way through. Now I can get my wire up and do what I gotta do. All right, well, got all of the back touched up paint wise. Got this channeled out, all my wires ran up inside. Got a wire coming out for the battery. I'm just actually gonna run that down and through here. And yeah. All right, the back is finished up. Got the flooring in, battery box is set. Pump is in. Got everything wired up. We got the navigation lights, the internal lights, the pump, and a what's going to be a fish finder. I actually haven't wired that one yet, but it takes 10 seconds to get that pulled. We are just now getting the flooring in for this last section. Boom, fits like a charm. We are going to then carpet from there down across to this, and then we're going to build a hatch cover for this battery area, and then from there it's pretty much just final touches. All right, got my phone charging, got her hooked up to power to test it, and just to show you, light works, front lights do work as well. I don't have the LEDs in yet, but they're wired. Pump works. That'll be for fish finder when it's installed. And my dad's just getting carpet going. Starting to finally look like a nice boat. Starting to look like a nice boat. I'm not the biggest fan of the black paint now that I've sat in it for a day or two. I think that it's gonna attract way too much sun and be very hot, but I do like the idea that we were going for with it, with the matte black and the orange. It's gonna look good, but again, just on the water, it's just not gonna work good. This would be a nighttime fishing boat if I had it. My dad's gonna get this wrapped around real quick, and then we're gonna throw on our last roll of carpet and finish down and over and up this, and then we're gonna build a platform for the right there and probably call it for the day. After that, we just got a lot of finalization, touch-up paint my dad will probably work on throughout the week. I'll get decals made, and then once we get decals on, after it's clear-coated, we will install all the bracketry for fish finders and pole holders, you know, everything of that sort. So check in with the guys once we get all this carpet done and show you what it's looking like with everything in. All right, well, we got some creases to get out. We aren't really a big fan of the adhesive we got, but got a little cleanup. Got all our holes cut for speakers and radio, future use. Looking really good. All right, I wanted to give you guys a little update. We have most of it done. There's maybe one more coat I think I'm gonna roll on. This flat black. I think the flat black looks 10 times better than the matte. This is definitely the look we were going for. You can see there's some minor stuff that just needs touched up. I really can only see it with when you're up close, but other than that, it looks great. The inside looks good. Got the carpet done. There's a few wrinkles, but best we could do with the way we did the flooring system. Got the live well installed. Trying to think of a solution for how to drain everything. I think if we put a PVC pipe in there that comes up a little bit, so when you have the pump on, it's spraying water in to aerate a little bit, that would be fine. And then when you take the PVC out, it should drain the water down. Issue being, how do I make it so it does not overflow? 2, how do I make it drain? If you take the PVC out, it will drain all the way down to level with this guy, but that's not really what I'm going for. So another issue is I tried dumping some water down that, and water does flow out when you get enough in there, but then a decent amount just sits here. So I really need this connection on the other side at the bottom. Like, I really just need it turned as much that way as I possibly can so that the water flows down into it. Yeah, still trying to think of a solution for that as well. I'll figure it out. But yeah, we're gonna get another coat on, and then I got decals printed for it. I'll show you guys what those look like here soon. All right, got a good second coat on. She's really starting to fill in now. Honestly, this flat black just looks amazing. I just hate how hot it gets, but it's really coming along now. Just tried to wire up his fish finder that came with the boat. It unfortunately is not powering on. Not sure exactly why. I know I got everything hooked up correctly because everything else is working, but yeah, that doesn't seem to work. Got the trolling motor mounted. I'm gonna get the other motor mounted now. And then what I'm doing is I am mapping out the length I need. So it's gonna be this area from there all the way through to here. That box is gonna be what covers the batteries. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hinge it onto here because this is pretty thick and got some foam in there. So I'm gonna hinge it into here with some self-tapping screws, and then let it fall and sit onto here, paint it black, should be good to go. And I'm gonna have to notch it out, possibly around the motor for when you lift it up. I'm not sure exactly how we're gonna make this work, but I'm gonna get it on there, see how it functions, and go from there. All right, guys, I think we got a perfect fit here, honestly. I mean, there's like a slight gap there, little gap here, whatever. Really? Okay. But I was gonna notch it out to go around the motors. Hopefully the Johnson doesn't sit as deep. It might honestly cause an issue. We'll see what we gotta do. But with the trolling motor here, I can lift this up and get a pretty good access to everything. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna try to get the other motor on and see how it sits. And if it sits too deep where I can't even barely open it, we'll make some adjustments. But as of now, I'm liking this. I'm gonna end up getting this painted, touch up all the scuffs that I just made, make a few more minor touch-ups like along these edges and things of that nature. That's the matte black behind. This is a flat black. Much better. We have, like I said, some touch-ups to make. That's crazy. I don't know why it looks like that. Either way. I got spots for speakers in the future, spot for a radio in the future. Carpet just does not want to cooperate. We also have these hinges here for where the flooring is mounted at, and it just, yeah, looks like I'm gonna need to respray some glue there. Holy crap. All right, got some final touches to make. All right, got some hinges painted up, got half of the board painted, waiting for that to dry. Gonna do some touch up on the inside of the boat now, and then actually I'm gonna run the LED lights before I get that in and mounted. so then I can touch up what else I need to do. So I'm gonna get the LED lights mounted now, and then yeah, I'll check in with you guys once I get the LED lights mounted and wired and see how they look. All right, got the LEDs all wired up. Ran through back by the battery so you can see in there when you open it up. Got different colors we can do. Even we can go to his music if you wanted to, but yeah. Got that on, motor's on. Board is dry on one side. Gotta paint the other side, but we're gonna get it in and hinge and see what it looks like. So show you guys once we get that in. Wow. Got all the decals on. Whole number. Another low decal up front. Got the battery board in place. Haven't hinged it quite yet. And when we do, it's only really gonna lift that far before it stops. So you'll get a decent amount of room. When the lights are on, you'll get a good view in there. And yeah, we just got this ribbon thrown on for this front hatch. So you can open that right up. We're gonna do the same thing on this back one and then get it hinged up and see how that functions. So check in with you guys once we get that done. And then we just really got some decals on the other side and some touch-up paint. And that's literally it. I think we're just trying to get the boat ready for Father's Day for him, and then hopefully he brings it back and we can redo the trailer. And yeah, that should be it for the project. I'll check in with you guys once we get all the final touches done and we get it outside and get you guys one last look at it all cleaned out. All right, check it out. Got all the decals on. My dad's just finishing up the last one. Yeah, we got both motors mounted. We got our board in place for the battery cover. We got a handle on it that when you wrap it on here, holds it up. Bada boom, bada bing. Gonna get another battery thrown in and clean it up. Hell yeah. All right, well, he just came and checked it out, loved it. Didn't unfortunately get a video of his reaction, but this is the final product. Got everything cleaned out. Talked about possibly fastening this down so it's not removable, but still we're gonna let him decide. Am gonna eventually replace this little bit of carpet for him just because it's one wrinkled spot, but whatever. Got the anchor and mounted. Got both motors mounted and wired up. Battery moved, gas tank in place. Got the switch. Only thing we're missing is a fuel line. Can't seem to find one anywhere. So that is the owner's job now, to go and find the fuel line, get some pedestal mounts for his seats, and he should be good to go. All right, guys, well, that's gonna call it for this video. Appreciate you guys watching. Me and my dad knocked this fucker out in like 3.5 days total working on it. I think this is gonna become a new series for us, just flipping John boats. So check in with you guys once we get on the next project. Peace.